That means we've got to talk about what I imagine is the talk of the chat, and that's Harblu. He's been playing incredibly well. He's an incredibly aggressive Zarya, getting a lot of good value out of those shields, and he's got some interesting Graviton. He's got some interesting theories behind Graviton.
Theories. He's got some theories. He's wrote a thesis on the Graviton Surge. Well, both teams are going to roll out, Harry. We're going to have to read that thesis a little bit later. Also, I don't really want to read 10,000 words on a Graviton Surge, not going to lie.
Yeah, just make a reading stream.
Ouch! Okay, Hypnot's going to go down. Oof. Another big boot from the Lucios to make sure the Rhines are permanently out of position. Good job on Zolik. Is going to be able to secure the first kill on Hypnot. And the first point will obviously go over to Chicken Contendies. And now it's all up for Bermuda to go for this retake. Obviously, same comps, running the 3-3 with the Zen. No Moira, thankfully. And we will see at least the first ultimate come online from Gig. Only 20% away from the Shadow already. Went fairly aggressive start, but
the way that these comps have really begun to evolve has come into these Lucio assassinations, and Jolik was showing off exactly what that is, perfectly booping Hypnot into the hammer swings of Gig. Hypnot's going to try and go a little bit aggressive here, will shield out the shield bash from Tanner, but won't shield that.
Shatter does hit Ultimate Web, and Guru, who ends up going down. Ultimate Web is forced back onto the point, as they did try and jump down the staircase in order to avoid that Shatter. Weren't quite so lucky. Gig does end up falling, however, so slight main tank advantage for Bermuda as they do roll on in. But as Reinhardt's are Reinhardt's, they do charge all the way back fairly quickly. Even Zolik actually getting him with the speed boost too. So Bermuda, full reset for them. They've got the Shadow of their own, but they're running into 5 ults from Chicken Contendies.
Highly economical fight. Only the Earth Shadow was required. Some good follow-up coming through from Salty. Managed to take out Guru and get rid of that primary source of damage is for high energy Zarya. Hypnot going to be trying to take all the ground that he can here, but they're going to be playing around the central.
Oh,
no, not like this.
Harblu, 10,000 words clearly wasn't enough. Gets eaten by Shu. There's the Transcendence from Suppose in order to keep his team alive. Nice little boop there from Zolik to send Hypnot dunking down to his death. Well, I say dunking, not really near the ocean. It's just more the pathway to the ocean.
Just the unforgiving concrete below.
yeah, a little bit more unforgiving than the ocean, to be fair. Although you can die by hitting water fairly quickly. Yeah. Not even terminal velocity, so it's gonna hurt either way.
I imagine you'd have trouble swimming in a Reinhardt Crusader armor. Hypnot's going to try and make a re-engagement here, but he's being bullied thus far. The amount of movement control onto him that's being focused by Chicken Contenders is absolutely insane. Jolik once again may go for that boot. You can see he's in the back.
Oh, Shadow does hit. Shu's going to be the recipient of that. Another beautiful boot. Hypnot is not having a good day. Guru is going to go down as well. Oh, man. Gig, you got to just hold up for a second. Just chill out. They need to at least touch the point once. Chicken Contendies 100-0 Bermuda on Lighthouse.
So hold up, wait a minute from me right there, Jaws. It doesn't look like Chicken Contendies just putting so much resources into just tilting Hypnot off the side of a planet. Like, there's so many little cheesy things, like the double boop from the Diva into the Lucio, just sending him flying so far, and he only just manages to fall off the side. And then like the Jolik boops, booping straight into Gig, so he gets hit down and killed. When they force this upon Hypnot, it does mean that Hypnot is prone to making more aggressive plays. You want to stand up for yourself. You want to take revenge for all of the boops that have happened to you. But now he is going to be able to move on, of course, onto the Winston, a little bit more reliable here on the well. Now I'm going to see either team playing the Orisa or the DPS, what you often see here. I was expecting Ultimate Web to come out on that Pharah, but instead it's going to be 3-3s all the same, just Winston's instead of Reinhardt's. Will we still be able to bully Hypnot as much as they have recently?
Well, at least if Hypnot does manage to find himself off the map, he can leap back on. Double leap as well with the Primal Rage, if he does have it. Pizza Demon ends up going down to Salty. They're on a very, very small corridor now. Salty's mate does get destroyed, but little to no avail, as Bermuda are just going to get wiped out. As OG ends up backing off too, trying to escort the rest of his team. Ultimate Web still fighting Harry. He still manages to find Tanner. And, I don't understand how they ignored him for that long, mate. Yeah, like
trade it out.
I'm looking at Chicken Contendies' position. I'm like, there's 4 of you around Ultimate Web, yet he's still swinging and killing Tanner. Okay,
that's just Brigida for you, man. Inspire is powerful. Suppose could be caught out here. Good block onto the leap from Hypnot, but we'll still catch the Zen.
Still catches him, yeah. And because Ultimate Web was swinging all that time, just managed to get the rally off first. There'll be another rally from Tanner, but it's only onto 5 members instead of 6, as they do lose to Zen fairly early. He's going to spawn and make his way back to the point, but Bermuda are still fighting. Guru ends up going down the well completely, so high charge too, and Gig is going to be able to find the kill with the Primal Rage. Harblu 10% away from a grab, doesn't want to eat in this time, but is going to have a small advantage over Guru in that situation. Continue to hold the point to Chicken Contendies, 40% now on the board, and they have combo coming up as well.
I would not be surprised to see Harblu solo grab Hypnot if he pops a Primal Rage here. It's so dangerous on this point where you can put so many people down the well. That's exactly what we saw Gig do to Guru.
Oh,
there is another one. 2 for 2.
What is this? She's like, don't run, Harblu, don't run. I've got defense matrix. Yoink, that's mine now. 2
It's
for 2 right now.
2 stages of Ilios.
Yeah, he is. Graviton Surge is going to hammer 4 people on top of each other. Self-destruct from Shu. Thank you very much. Doesn't even get himself demeched either. Oh my goodness. Rampage for Bermuda right now. They're going to be able to finally cap the point on 2 stages. On the second stage, in fact. Chicken Denny's all the way back in spawn. That'll be the complete flip going over.
Well, it's the first percentage that Bermuda have been able to acquire. It was going to look like it was going to be 200-0, but now the shoe is on the other foot, and I promise that's the last time I'm going to make a joke like that. Hypnot going to be waiting for Chicken Contendies' entrance here. Wants to try and cleave through them, but he's going to be doing very little damage to the rally, and they're going to be running straight into Pizza Demon, force out the trance.
It's pretty good. Now they're backing off. They know they have the healing disadvantage. OG doing a bit of parkour, trying to find someone to boop in, but Chicken Contendies a little bit more wise to that. Are going to make the big rotation onto Bermuda's side of the map. Guru is going to go down, and that Primal Rage has been popped by the Winston. Graviton Surge doesn't get eaten this time around, but Lucio is going to get caught up inside. Hypnot is going to be able to get a little bit of extra damage on the front line and die on the point. Stall some more time out, but Chicken Contendies are only 20% away from securing Ilios.
Last fight again. Harblu actually built up that Graviton so quickly. It seems like only just a few seconds ago the last one got eaten by Shu, and a late pick round to Pizza Demon from Tanner is going to mean that it may well be an undermanned push from Bermuda. Hypnot needs to get maximum value out of this Primal Rage. He's going to have to get a load of knockoffs, but Gig's already leapt. This could be the perfect opportunity to get him in the hole.
Intelligent jump from Hypno there, knowing he had the Primal Rage, was ready to actually push people back into the well when they did try and encroach on him. Suppose he's in the back line getting Tesla coiled, but it doesn't matter because Tanner's going to be there with the stun. Pizza Demon goes down once more as Harblu does find the kill. Tanner's going to find his like for like an ultimate weapon as well. Self-destruct goes high and wide as it doesn't connect with anybody whatsoever. Guru is extremely high charge, but the rest of his team are falling around him. The beat came through, but Guru received none of it and actually ended up killing himself by accident. Chicken Contendies are going to be able to secure Ilios as no one from Bermuda is able to touch the point.
And great presence of mind there from Harblu to just sort of like ignore Hypnot in the backline. I was like, you know what? If Harblu's here, then who's defending Pizza Demon? The answer was no one. Gig, I imagine this will be a double knockoff with a charge. He got a huge amount of value out of it.
By the way,
oh.
Bam! You like Hypnot walked into that charge. He was like, "I'm going to shield you." Oh wait, you're charging. Well, I'm dead.
I will be your shield / Ilios tour guide.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect geometry as well. It's perfect.
Well, the Chicken Contendies have been fried to perfection, but Bermuda gonna have to try and pick a different approach here as we move on to hybrid. We'll get to pick the map. And we are actually changing the sides. So I'm going to change around my sticky notes to denote our overlay, or we get bamboozled like we did on our first series.
Yeah, we got completely bamboozled. There we go. People just saw us change around our sides. It's okay, guys. We are live. We are ready to go into Blizzard World, of course. Let's go over the next map. It does look like the sides have been chosen to. Chicken Contendies will start out on the defense. Good little start, though, from Chicken Contendies. Already finding a map in the series. Now, you got to think, again, go back to what I said at the start. Bermuda got reverse swept yesterday by Sky Foxes, who are easily our top competitors in NA Trials right now. That's got to play a big on your mental, like absolutely massive. Chicken Contendies don't really have that to their name. They did manage to take out Phase 2 yesterday, only dropping a single map, so more high-end spirits right now as they did take first.
Yeah, you get that mental momentum, and I imagine it was doubly disappointing for Bermuda that you got so close to the victory of the champions. You had it in your grasp, and then it was whisked away by those pesky Sky Foxes.
It does honestly feel like, and it reminds me of when Control was 5 maps in comp. Like, we mentioned it last week, but it's just a perfect, in best of 5 situations, it's a perfect reminder of how frustrating it was to lose to a reverse sweep on Control maps. You won the first 2, and then you play the 3rd, 4th, and 5th map and end up losing. It is monumentally frustrating. You're gonna have to go for a complete mental reset, just get a drink, get a snack, get a bite to it, you know, anything just to reset that and just go again for the next game in your comp queue, or in this case, next game in trials. Hopefully Bermuda have reset their mental. Does it, like, obviously, like I said before, Chicken Contendies are going to be on the defense first, so Bermuda will be able to set the time in which Chicken Contendies have to actually beat.
Chicken Contendies, given the previous round, may have somewhere to be trying to speed run by going on the defense first. Just full hold, and then we'll just take first, lol. Halfway through the map already. But Bermuda obviously chose this map for a reason, and maybe Chicken Contendies wanted to go first, so we can sort of scout out what Bermuda think is most viable on this first point. But from what I can see, doesn't like we are going to be seeing 3-3 versus 3-3. No risks are going to be taken here, and why not? Chicken Contendies probably don't see much of a reason to swap away from this 3-3, given how dominant they were when it was Reinhardt 3-3 versus Reinhardt 3-3. I'm saying 3 a lot. During Lighthouse, they need to. They just need to continue what they're doing in tilting Hypnot off the face of the earth.
Suppose it's tilting me a little bit now. Please kill the balloons. Stop it. Stop not killing the balloons.
He's obscuring line of sight. They're going to save him from snipes.
It doesn't work like that. You can shoot through them. They're just satisfying to pop, that is all. This is, by the way, one of my favourite maps. Like, hands down, one of my favourite maps. Sound design is just impeccable. It actually feels like you're in a theme park. Just, unfortunately, you're fighting.
Play a lot of World of Warcraft as well, so you definitely appreciate the references a lot more than I do, since I'm not really much of a WoW kid.
That's true. Snack Ramus. It's top tier reference. Hypnot is going to get booped in. Gig pays him a little bit of a visit with a couple of swings of the hammer. The ultimate weapon will go down first. And Hypnot just retreating. No, he can't win without the brig. That charge went a little bit too far to the left, and he is going to get punished for it. You want to arc that to the right, at least go to the statue, and he has to cover some additional ground. Shu is going to get chased right to his spawn as well. Speed boost from Zolik is going to make sure he can kill Pizza Demon. You can see right up to the spawn doors at this point. Yeah, even Hypnot's like, I don't really want to get out of spawn right now. Salty is going to get D-Mech, but him, Ultimate Web goes down again. He stepped outside of spawn and gets completely denied. There is a rally coming out from Tanner as well. Salty finds his, like, 4th kill or something, and Heartblue, he's 10% away from Grav.
What is this aggression? They've been absolutely tenderized. Guru's actually beat him to Grav somehow. Must have done a huge amount of damage onto Gig before Hypnot had sort of like tenderized him against the wall. We'll have to see. Gig has returned, however, so there's none of that advantage that they were hoping for, and Tanner's now still going to be scouting out. You can see Gig and Tanner both using that 3D peek with their shields out to see where Ultimate Web's going to be coming from. Zolik again may go for one of those cheeky boops.
Good shadow block. Guru does end up going down, but the shield from Hypnot is going to save him. Guru ends up falling in the end from all the incoming damage. Even though that beat is going off, Hypnot is still the main target of Chicken Contendies. You are right, Harry. This might just be a speed run from them right now. Running right to their spawn once more. Shu goes for the swift reset. Doesn't want to give any more ultimate charge away.
Yeah, they do know that there is going to be quite a few ultimates coming up on Bermuda. Don't want to give away the charge towards that, Don't want to give away the charge towards that Earth Shadow, because now that's a significant advantage that Hypnot has over Gig. He can be aggressive right now, but when Hypnot's aggressive, he's often punished. Chicken Contender's doing a great job of trying to isolate that.
Nice grab. That Graviton Surge is so well placed. That shield is even a little bit more well placed over Hypnot. Gig a little bit too far forwards. Doesn't end up getting slammed either by Hypnot, who actually missed the charge and the pin. Gig is going to have to make a more defensive charge this time, as he does get isolated in the corner. A nice self-destruct though from Shu does net himself 2 kills, and finally Bermuda are able to push themselves onto this point. Not after Shu though claiming 2 MVP of that first push. A couple of ticks more and they'll be able to get that cart on the move.
Shu just seems like the MVP of Bermuda right now. Hypnot there doing a good job holding his nerve, defending himself with the Earth Shadow when he was solo grabbed. Heartblue thought that maybe an early pick onto the Reinhardt there would be well worth it, but was not expecting Hypnot to hold his own and say, no, you can't bully me, I'll bully you. I'll bully you first. Gig's going to come a lot of space here. They want to play around this first corner, don't want to give Bermuda any free distance, want to get as many fights as possible out of his second point.
So he's playing on the high ground as well. That's a lot of damage from the D.Va too. You've got to keep that in mind. Those use those thrusters to actually get away. Shu did match him in that high ground. And now they're just holding on this corner. Not too much of a surprise. Demon Tanner and Harblue taking the high ground too. Look at this position that they have on the back line. Gig is the only one caught in that grab. And Suppose didn't even need to use the Transcendence. Now he's using it to make sure everybody can go forward rather aggressively. And him not charging away back to his own point. What a fantastic rotation from Chicken Contendies to secure high ground away from Bermuda.
Great ways to defend themselves right there. Both the shadows were blocked, and it's going to be a quick disengage with the rally. Both rallies going, and there's the sound barrier coming through from both teams again.
A grab got eaten once more. Shu, 3 for 4 right now in grab eats. There's Tanner going down to ultimate whip. Apparently the grab eats don't matter a single bit. Well, no, not sorry. The Graviton Surges won't matter for Chicken Contendies as they do end up falling down. Ultimate whip getting a little bit of revenge on the rest of their team. Oh my goodness. I think 3 for 4, 3 for 5 right now is definitely a positive ratio for grab eats from Shu just popping off. I mean, it's surprising, and something everybody seems to talk about, and they should, is the fact that D.Va got nerfed recently. The cooldown on defense mages is 2 seconds. Grab comes out. This time it's on the side of this time Chicken Contendies are going to get caught up. Shu throws in the self-destruct and finishes off Salty. Hypnot's just going to swing on away, and that'll be the rest of Chicken Contendies getting cleaned up before they can even touch the point again.
Great use of momentum there from Bermuda, and OG here was trying his best to make sure Harblue could not get away with his energy before they quick re-engage, trying to boop him forward, but unfortunately weren't able to follow up on it. Harblue's going to have to use his personal barrier now to get a little bit more, but you know what, once that's down, Harblue's going to be a primary target, especially if it gets a little bit frisky, a little bit risky going in front of Gig's shield. They've decided where they want to hold. They want this corner. They're going to wait potentially for a speed boost from Jolik. I mean, he can stay up on that wall. He can put down a lot of damage on top of Hypnot as well as get the cheeky boops in. This is what they want. They want to put Hypnot in a situation where he isn't very happy.
Gig is ahead at an ult charge though. He does obviously have the Shatter Harry. Hypnot does not quite so lucky. OG trying to get a little boop. Hypnot was more successful in that. The Shatter went a little bit wide as no one was actually next to it. Did get blocked up mostly. There's a Transcendence on top of the Graviton Surge coming out from Harblue, as well as a beat from Chicken Contendies to make sure they can match the support ults. Still no one is going down, and another Shatter gets laid down. This time on the side of Bermuda. A Graviton Surge too is going to get thrown into the mix. A lot of that damage getting blocked up by the Transcendence, I suppose. Hypnot finds 2 though as he gets the pin onto the Brig and the Flame Strike onto Gig. And that will be once more Chicken Contendies just dying on the point as Bermuda continue to roll the cut.
Hypnot there getting his great revenge. Managing to get the pin kill onto Tanner. That burst damage can kill people through a Transcendence. That's incredibly important that you'll be able to take people out, especially while they're doing things like rallying. Second denies so many resources to the remainder of the enemy team, including that repair pack, which is so important for sustaining Reinhardt. Gig's going to play on the corner here, wants to try and take even more space, and he is going to land the grab.
Ooh. Okay, grab actually dragging the Reinhardt forward there and the Zarya. Guru gets taken out first. Shatter goes down, hits 4. Capture Shatter only hits 1, and a Transcendence from Pete's team to keep everybody alive. Perfect. Perfect Hypnot positioning there. Just moving himself around Gig's shield, getting the perfect Shatter, and the rest of Bermuda are going to follow up.
A great whip shot there as well, making sure Harblue will not escape with his energy. It's high priority for Harblue to be able to keep that. And now, Chicken Contendies, they are staring down the barrel of a full completion on Bermuda with time left. They need to get the time back at least below 1 minute.
Or Suppose almost gets instantly taken out, dropped to sub 50 HP. As the Transcendence as he feels rather threatened. A Graviton Surge is going to get matched as well as that self-destruct from Shu on top of Gig's head. Is going to block most of that, and Tanner's going to do the same with his personal shield. Can't quite get that one though, as there was no shield HP remaining. That'll be Hypnot finding 2 and Salty getting ejected from the mech. Harblue's got all his energy back, Harry, but all his team are already dead. Suppose goes back on the emergency wrecking ball, but Pete's team has got his second Transcendence of this engagement. Gig is back as well, but they're just losing members just so rapidly.
Gig was taken out so quickly, you could have done so much with that Earth Shatter, a second pile driver, and the self-destruct.
How is he building these up so quickly? Shu with a second self-destruct within a minute as well. Round 1 gets completed, and Bermuda are going to find 3 points on the board as well.
But crucially for Chicken Contendies, they managed to pull that clock below a minute in the time bank. And that's so important, because if we saw a time bank above 1 minute, we would have seen that if Chicken Contendies could only complete an overtime, that would give Bermuda that free attack and guarantee them a draw. But now, if Chicken Contendies can complete, we will be going to extra rounds, no matter how much time is left in Contendies' time bank.
Contendies are obviously up a map. It looks like we're going to a small pause, yeah. Just very fast. Shouldn't be too long.
Let's talk motifs, I guess. I think Shu has been incredibly impressive, and it feels like Bermuda really have identified how much Chicken Contendies is pouring a load of resources into trying to control Hypnot. They know that they're very happy to, you know, solo grab Hypnot. Oh, we'll just shield bash and slam Hypnot. We'll try and pin Hypnot as much as possible. And it means that they've reallocated their own resources to making sure Hypnot can last a lot longer. Because if Hypnot can demand for attention for that amount of time because he has resources, it means Shu and Guru have a lot more space to work because Chicken Contendies aren't paying attention to it.
Shu has been the standout MVP for me as well. Like, not only is he getting just vanilla self-destructs, but like the rate in which he's building up these graviton surge, these self-destructs too, has just been stupendous. Honestly, it was really just the momentum shift on the side of Bermuda that really helped them just win the next 2 points after they capped first. It just felt like they were struggling so hard because Chicken Contendies had really nice ult management. They were just layering that self-destruct on top of the grab, and then as soon as that comes out, we've got the Reinhardt swinging in to earn a shatter for the next fight. That is how you want to roll these 3-3s. You really want that shatter to come out, and then you can build up towards the grab, then grab for the next fight, then shatter, then grab, then grab, then shatter, then grab. It is the perfect way to play 3-3 in terms of ultimate economy. Bermuda, as soon as they managed to crack that, they were able to do exactly the same with Chicken Contendies. They were able to just kind of roll that forward with the grab, with the self-destructs, then the shatters, then the grabs, and then it wasn't, and then Chicken Contendies couldn't even touch before the second point was even capped. So it was really nice to see that kind of momentum shift actually happened as soon as that second point was taken.
Yeah, Bermuda seemed to channel the aggression that they found from Contendies on first point when we saw Contendies go all the way into the spawn, which is the most aggressive I've ever seen anyone play in a professional match between vaguely similar teams in terms of skill level. That was so aggressive. That's the first time I've ever seen anyone be backed up against that gate that's next to the spawn. I didn't even know that existed.
It was a little bit ridiculous too, because Ultimate Web not only died first, he then died again on like the same push from Chicken Contendies all the way up to the spawn. I guess you just sit and spawn. Like, you kind of have to. If they're going to run at you that aggressively, like, why not just sit and spawn? But he's like, no, I'm going to save everybody. It's okay. Runs out and then just gets instantly slammed by the Rhine. It's like, well, you just fed 250 HP of ult charge over and you're dead again. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I wonder on the defense are we going to see OG set up, because we often talk about the evolution of 3-3 because it's a comp that's seen a lot of different tactics in its time as people innovate and try to find ways to either destroy the Reinhardt more quickly or destroy everyone incredibly quickly. And the current meta seems to be Assassin Lucios, and that's about Lucios trying to utilize their wall ride abilities in order to, well, get good boops onto Reinhardt, put them out of position, and that either forces out resources from the enemy team to save the Reinhardt, which are not then available when you aggress into that Reinhardt afterwards, or they just straight up kill the Reinhardt because, oh, he's in the middle of our team, I guess we'll just shoot him, lol. And yeah, I want to see how OG manages to position himself on this defense, because we saw some great defensive positioning from Jolik to make sure that Hypnot was never really comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, more often than not, you do see the Lucio either up on the high ground behind your team in order to wall ride over and then obviously get behind them. You see him on the top right, which we're seeing OG at now, to then boot them in, or you could even see on the platform to the forward to the left where the I guess they're roller coaster carts, I guess. Well, they don't go very far, but you can even see him up there as well to kind of push them into the rest of the squad. So aggressive Lucios have been really the name of the game today. You can see Salty there instantly spotting him out. OT's going to get punished for it too. A Gig just walking straight onto the point. You got no Lucio to speed you away, and we have speed priority, so you're going to die.
Yeah, now we've got positioning on the point. No Reinhardt's driver's side, though. OG's going to try and duel it out here, but Harblue has got so much energy, such a threat.
Yeah, he's just going to roll on through them like that. Again, no speed boost to a speed boost. Unfortunately, OG gets caught out, sniffed out instantly, and that's an instant cap from Chicken Contendies. They do lose Gig, but he's going to get back to the point in no time at all.
And that was so important because when OG was trying to escape, and he did so successfully, in order to survive, Ultimate Web had to give him the repair pack. And we talked about how important the repair pack is for keeping Reinhardt sustained because it's 150 burst healing. You don't have other sources of burst healing unless you have a Transcendence ready to go. That meant Hypnot, he was easy to run over at that point. Where's all the healing going to come from? It's not going to come through. It's on cooldown. So being able to catch out OG there actually doomed Hypnot.
Yeah, OG on the flank once more, but this time playing a little bit more cautious. He is going to see Tanner. If Tanner does get the stun, he is going to almost go down instantly. Has to be rather careful of that. Does get booped away by the enemy Lucia. There's Graviton Surge. Hypnot tries to charge, but connects with the grab anyway. Guru gets pinned against the wall, but the Transcendence will heal him up in time, and he is rather large energy as well. Self-destruct thrown actually hits the top of the pylon cafe and ends up falling to the floor. Doesn't matter though, because Harblu is going to be able to follow up. Same with Gig. Just everybody splits up, trying to hide from the Graviton, from the self-destruct damage. They're going to get split up and they're going to get torn down one by one. Ultimate Wet falls as well. And that will be second point, almost capped instantly as well. We've got 4 minutes, Harry. This could be almost a 6-minute time bank on the board for Chicken Contendies moving on to third.
I'm surprised Contendies aren't claiming more space here. Gig's actually going to move up, try and make sure that Hypnot has to go through him, but Stu's going to circumvent him and he's got the sound barrier.
Nice shatter there onto Harblu on the side. Graviton Surge will attach everybody to the car, but Suppose is going to be there with the Transcendence. Isolated is Gig in the back line as he was charged away, but Suppose does meet him in the back line too. Harblu tries to get a flanking grab and got soloed out by Ultima Web. Alrighty.
That one's going to get a page in the thesis, I'm pretty sure. That's what we call a classic zoning grab right there, making sure to deny some space from the defense, but the defense have got all the space they want. They pushed forward, eliminated Contendies, and Hypnot still has that all-important Earth Shadow. And look at this. Guru almost has a second grab ready to go. He did so much damage in that fight, and he's also maintaining his energy levels. That means he's going to have an inherent advantage over Harblu in the coming moments. And Salty's already losing a huge amount of mech health. If they can force him out of mech before he can get that self-destruct, it'd be absolutely huge for Bermuda.
Oh! Hammer has hit the floor. Good boot to knock him out. Hypnot off the pavilion as well. Nice Graviton Surge. There's no self-destruct ready to combo with it either, so it just holds them all in place. Does actually send Zolik down, however, who wasn't actually caught in the grab at the time. OG will find him. You can see Gig how far he's playing back by the tank. They know they can't go without the Lucio because they have speed boost disadvantage. Harblu and Tanner try and get away, trying to leverage that space. Another fantastic boot by OG. Just finding Tanner, just sending him straight towards the gift shop. He's not exchanging anything though. He's just going to have to die. No receipt available for his life. And Chicken Contendies do have to go for the reset.
Good disengage there, however, did mean that Bermuda invested some ultimates and couldn't really clean up on the remainder to get that cyclical ult generation that we often see from a 3-3. To get that, you need to be able to kill everyone in the enemy team, trade their life for your ult. So now Gig's going to move forward. He's going low. He's got the Transcendence, but the boot! That's perfectly played.
It's perfectly placed, and that does mean Chicken Contendies are going to have to go onto the low ground. Harblu goes down to the thrusters of Shu. Their time bank now cut in half, as Suppose also goes down. Chicken Contendies maybe looking for a 6 stack of an ult bank, because they're going to have to do something pretty special right now to run into the 6 stack that Bermuda are running.
And look at how far back this cart has moved, Jules. It's about halfway back around the track. It's reversing so quickly because Contendies keep taking this path up through the high ground, means they haven't really touched the cart at all for about 3 pushes now. Hypnot's going to be a big wall here. Gig's going to try and isolate him.
There's both beats that there's no Transcendence to really mitigate any of that damage. That self-destruct also going to take out Tanner, who isn't in the grab but just isolated alone. I like the grab on the wall there because it's such an easy pin target as well for the Reinhardt. But look how many ultimates they did invest. They invested 5, Harry. But now they've got to go up against 2 big tank ultimates and a couple of support ultimates from Chicken Contendies in the next fight.
Yeah, they had to pay with a sound barrier to give Hypno that aggressive positioning and ensure these guys should still not touch the cart. And because of all these fights, there are now still 2 fights that Bermuda have to try and defend second because this cart's moved back so far. Chicken Contendies going to have to make it move. There we go. 3 people on the cart, and they're going to try and get Hypnot away, but they've already lost Suppose.
Wow, Guru from the back line. That mortar strike was just perfect. Taking out Suppose before he can even get into the fight and start it. That'll be Gig laying down that shadow, but has to hold that shield for his team not to take any more damage. Another shadow coming through. This time it's Hypnot. Doesn't connect with anybody, but is pressure enough to make sure that Tanner and Gig end up going down. Salty sends the self-destruct in the air to try and force back Hypnot. They're going to be able to get back to the payload rather quickly as Chicken Contendies do have spawn priority.
They're going to have to store themselves out on the cart right now and then just try and hope that they have enough time to get back for a final contestation here. OG, another assassination. Suppose is not having a good day right now. Definitely not. OG's going back to spawn. Needs to speed everyone back. But because of what we talked about, the cart moving back so far, there's more room for another fight from a Bermuda defense. This was perfect play for them to keep that contested for so long. They've got to try and make the approach now. They can be locked down.
They got grabbed too as well, man. This is very, very scary. Salty has to go for the big eat. He gets thrown in, unfortunately not connecting with it. A Transcendence from downtown. Is it going to connect? No, it's not, because the self-destruct definitely does. Gig ends up falling. They're 1.30 m away from capping second, and there's only 5 seconds remaining. Salty's going to go down. Harbley also got to follow, who had to throw out the grab some way. No one gets back on the cart, and Bermuda holds Chicken Contendies before they can cap second.
Perfect cycling there from Bermuda. They should be very proud of what we've done on Blizzard. They tie up our series, and Ultimate Web getting a Brigitte player for game.
Is this going to be swinging into the graph?
Maybe.
Yes, it is. How did I know that was going to happen? There's a lot of damage, to be fair, and saving, obviously, the Reinhardt from taking any more.
Missed a whip shot, 2 out of 10.
I mean, look at that. Bam. 10 out of 10 tracking as well with the Brig. Unbelievable.
Tanner from high school really coming in the clutch.
Yeah, Ultimate in chat. Yikes. Hey, you played the game, man. It was good tracking on the flail, man. Come on. What can you say?
Well, we are going to
will be taken. And it will be Voskaya, yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Harry. Voskaya will be the map of choice by Chicken Contendies. So we all saw what happened in the last series, that humongous 6-minute time bank from Underwater squad. We'll see if one of these squads can kind of pull out the same sort of feat. However, one apiece in the series so far. Chicken Contendies not doing so well, but there seems to be a few more cracks in the armor when it comes to their Lucio positioning. I think both teams have done extremely good at being aggressive with Lucio, but you've got to punish those. We saw a little bit in the last series where Baz was finally getting punished. As soon as that does happen, I think both squads will be able to kind of leverage that ability for the enemy team not to have that speed boost.
I think we have to leave the server, Jaws, so that they can force West Coast.
I need to force East out. Are we? I guess we're technically on East.
They need to force West. Yeah, we're super East. We're in Britain.
We are super East. Yeah. Super East Coast.
I'm not sure what the current predicament is for how we're choosing servers, because obviously people like to have preferable pings. And
yeah.
With America being like the 3rd or 4th largest country in the world, you can have a significant ping discrepancy from one side to the other.
Okay, they are just sorting that out.
Yeah. Let's talk Voskaya and
okay.
what we might be able to see in terms of DPS compositions. I think it'd be pretty likely that we see Ultimate Web come out maybe on a Pharah. That tends to be his signature hero. And
yeah, let's go to.
He's also got a pretty good Hanzo, and both of those I'd say pretty good on the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking we see a lot more variation than we did see from last series. The Pharah, we've also seen a bit of Ashe too on the defense. I really like Ashe on this map specifically because Bob can cover so much ground, plus you can not hide Bob, but you can put Bob in a position where the enemy team, if they do want to actually get onto the point, they're only going to take fire from Bob when they're actually trying to engage on it. You can put him on the middle box where the miniature health pack is, not inside where the miniature health pack actually is acquired, but on one of the walls just outside it. So when the enemy team does push in, they can put Bob on one of those small corners, and then when they do push in, they have to then deal with Bob. And the only way they can deal with him is then pushing onto the point, which they take additional fire from everybody else as well.
Yeah, you can even put him on the stack of cylinders at the back as well, depending on where your Ashe is positioned, because then Bob can lay down additional fire even when they're moving in down those corridors. But of course, when you do that, there's the additional risk that Zenyatta will be able to lay down a long-range Discord orb and potentially be able to deal with him from afar, just from behind a Reinhardt shield, where you continually rotate out and not take so much damage.
Yeah.
And dealing with Bob's definitely something that teams have, let's say, varying degrees of efficacy in.
I mean, the Bob gets taken down super fast too.
Let's just pull ourselves out of this server. So
yeah,
west.
Sure thing. We are super super east after all.
Yeah, they're not going to get a west coast of Brits in here.
Yeah, probably not. When it comes down to Bob as well, like Zenyatta's take it down incredibly quickly because you can put Discord Orbit on the Bob and then you can just plink its head like a few times and it will fall extremely fast. It has got 1000 HP. It obviously can be healed too, but you don't really want to put healing resources into that. But that also means the Zenyatta that is trying to do that, trying